Hello and welcome, Inspired Podcast community. This is your new episode. My name is Caroline, and my today's guest is Tara Meyer-Robson. Is that correct? Oh
That
my
is
God.
correct. Well done.
Oh, thank you so much. The first obstacle. Okay. And I am so happy that you said yes to be my guest, my interview partner. Now I would like you to introduce yourself to the audience, please.
Sure. So I'm Tara Meyer-Robson. I'm a medical intuitive, an author, and a coach. I created a mind-body life transformation called the Flow Method. And I'm known for being able to translate the message behind anyone's pain or disease in about a minute and getting them on a healing journey. So that tends to be my, I guess, my superpower is what people tell me. I don't know. Mostly, I just really love helping people.
Oh, within 1 minute, you said.
Yeah, yep, I know. It's it sounds crazy, but I've been doing it long enough now that I'm like, yeah, okay, I actually can do that. So
Mm. Wow, this is amazing. Okay, my first question is what inspires you?
oh boy. Okay, so many, I'm one of those people, I think life itself inspires me a lot.
Mm.
I'm one of those that I love being with people. I love being out. Probably my biggest inspiration right at this moment is my beautiful little daughter. So I have a 7-year-old daughter, and the honor of watching and being her mom and helping to guide her and seeing her navigate life in a way that I think we forget as adults that we're navigating a lot of these complex issues, and then seeing kids navigate those issues and how they see things, right? My daughter, a good example is last night we were driving back from something, and my daughter said, "Mom, I'm so proud of myself." And I said, "Great, what are you proud of yourself for?" And she said, "Well, I was really angry about something today," which she's not actually, she doesn't get angry very often, but um I said, "Okay." And she said, "Well," and I took 2 deep breaths, and I couldn't believe it. I was able to get, what did she say? It was a fireball of rage in my stomach to calm down to an ice slushy. And I couldn't believe how much, and I was able to do that. And I'm so proud of myself. And I thought, wow, right? Like those are the moments where you see this learning experience. And that's where it's so important as adults. I think that's what it inspires me. It's like every moment of every day we have the opportunity to make empowered choices like that, or we can make disempowering choices, right? And we can choose to learn in every moment. And so right now, I would say my little daughter Fiona is probably my biggest inspiration right now, because just watching her navigate things is really holding a mirror up to me on how to navigate some of those things too.
Wow, thank you so much for sharing. And you shared how yeah, these are the fruits, right? The fruits.
I'm sorry, the fruit.
Fruits. Yes, when you plant seeds in your daughter's
Yes, 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 yes.
house.
The
Yeah,
seeds.
yeah,
The seeds.
yeah.
Yes,
When,
absolutely. I'm so
yeah,
sorry. Yes, fruits. It is
yeah,
like this. It is the
fruit.
seed. It is the seeds, right?
Okay.
And then you see, and
Mhm.
honestly, truthfully, Carolyn, I actually said to her, because I mean, we work on breathing, and breath work and things like that, right? But I said to her, how did you know how to do that? And she said, well, I don't know. Just in the moment, I knew I needed to do that. And I thought, so it is probably, I think it is, you sprinkle the seeds, and I'm sure you feel the same way with 112 episodes of your podcast. You are putting a lot of right little seeds out there, and you don't know where they're going to land and how they're going to grow, and you don't know how they're going to flourish, who they're going to impact, right? And yeah, I think that's a really good point. It's you forget when you're trying to do good things, whether it's being a mom, being a leader in any area of your life, that you are actually planting a seed that has the ability to have fruition, come to fruition. Yeah.
Okay.
Hmm.
Wow, this is amazing. And also how you explained the fireball and she transformed it into the ice
I'm
block.
slushy.
This was
I
the word.
know. She is a very visual and creative kid in the way that she expresses herself. And so, yeah, that also inspires me, because she comes up with these analogies and you think, wow, that's really spot on. That's so cool.
this is really cool because ice is cool, and I saw it. I saw the transformation in her. She said in her stomach or so. I
Yes.
could see it immediately. It's an image. Yeah. Wow.
Yes.
Thank you so much for sharing. Okay, is your daughter the reason or that inspires you to get up every morning?
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's a great question. Boy, for me, yes, of course, being a mom is a big, big one. But, you know, as long as I can ever remember, honestly, in my whole life, all I wanted to do was help people. That's it. So being in a position, which I feel very, very fortunate to be able to do what I'm passionate about, I get to help people every day. And I think all of us have that opportunity. It's just that I happen to be really lucky that this happens to be my career. And so for me, what gets me up in the morning is I think, okay, who am I going to help today? Right? What can I do that's going to better this world? And I have this like crazy vision of actually being able to heal the world. And I know that's a big one, but we got to start somewhere, right? So that's really what I think keeps me going, because there's always going to be bad days. You have this beautiful podcast you started. There's easy days, there's hard days, right? There's challenges. And so you have to have that why, to keep you going.
Yes, the why. Yeah,
Mhm.
thank you for pointing this out. There is this book called something like It All Starts with Why or Start with
Oh,
Why. You know this
mm.
Simon Sinek?
Oh,
If I
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Absolutely.
Start
Yes.
with Why. I think I
Mm.
didn't read it, but I have it on my list. It's amazing. But that is how it works. So you told me you had a podcast and you want to have a new podcast,
Yeah.
to launch your own podcast. So
Mhm.
my next question is if you had your own podcast, who would you invite for an interview?
Oh, that's great. What a great question. You are a great interviewer. Okay, so so this I love it. So I've been thinking about this a lot. So one of the things that I realized, somebody reflected back to me one day that even though I do deal with a lot of very difficult healing situations, I do a lot of work with cancer patients, and very obviously difficult things, right? I tend to bring humor and joy to it no matter what I do, right? And I didn't think about like how you just kind of write off things that that's just who you are, right? And so it hit me one day, gee, I'd really love to do a podcast where
Mhm.
I interview coaches, therapists, healers, those kinds of people that would come on and really talk about the hard, the good, the bad, the difficult, and the funny, like humorous, like bring some beauty and lightheartedness to the work of healing, which as healers it can get very heavy if you can't bring that to it. So that's really that's the focus I would have. And the list of people I would love to interview is probably really long. So it's probably quite long. I would love, and he's not a healer, but I would love to have Dan Levy from Schitt's Creek on. He's not a healer, but he's amazing. So
Okay. Yeah,
I
I
think
love
he
hearing
I think
that.
he accidentally brings healing in the work that he does.
Mhm, mhm.
So
Yeah, there you go. And my question is if you get to choose one person, a celebrity or a famous
yeah.
person, and yeah, this was my question about. Okay, and my next question is, how do you make people smile?
Oh my goodness, that's a good question. So, completely honestly, I'm a big goofball in a lot of ways. So, um, yeah. So
Mhm.
I, I, I kind of can't help myself with, I smile at everyone I meet, and I tend to go for authentic connection at all times, and so I think a lot of times you know how you just have certain things about you, and for me part of mine is just like sharing love and joy with other people. And so I go about and I don't even again, these things you do yourself, you're asking me questions that are like, oh yeah. these things you do yourself, you don't think they're anything. And then you're like, well, I guess that is something. So I tend to, whether it's a waitress or, barista or my friend I just ran into or whatever, I tend to bring a smile and a real connection of love and joy to people, no matter what. And that is a nice thing that people will reflect to me, is that how much joy I bring wherever I come in somewhere. And that is very lovely and meaningful to me. So I think I'm making people smile maybe from my inside of really loving and seeing them for who they are. That's
Yeah.
probably going to be my answer. So,
Oh, thank you. And also I think I heard that you said you smile first by when you smile, and then the reflection comes back, because the outside world is the mirror and we have to smile first. And this is what I understood from your answer. Thank you so much.
yeah.
Okay. What do people like about you?
Oh my goodness. Wow. These are great questions. I love it.
I
You're a
tell you
lovely.
something. I invented these questions today because I wanted to make a change now, and you are the third person I ask this question.
These are, you know what? I applaud you. These are great questions. I have never been asked on any interview these questions. I love it. Okay, so what do people like about me? Boy, you know what? That could bring up a whole thing, couldn't it? Because I think sometimes I have had to work very hard, and one of the things I work with my clients is authentically seeing ourselves and being willing to admit to the things that are really good about ourselves. I think, unfortunately, from childhood, we get a lot of socialization, depending on your family environment and just media and other things, where you're not allowed to really talk about yourself. It's bragging. Like, what is, so this great question actually is interesting, because it sounds like easy, but it's actually quite deep. So what do people like about me? It's so funny. I just actually asked this question because I was trying to get a perspective from people who've worked with me and people who have connected with me via social media or other things. And the number one thing I got back, and this meant more to me than almost anything else, was that I'm very authentic. What you see is what you get. That means a lot to me because, of course, in the social media world and things, I think, people can be presented one way and be a different way, and that's the way it is. And the other thing I really loved is that people said that I have a heart of gold. So I that meant a lot. I do care. People, I think, like about me that when they encounter me, they know that I genuinely care about them with every fiber of my being. Yeah, so I guess I would say those things probably.
I love it, and I can relate to that. I can feel it. I
Oh,
can feel
that's
your
nice.
energy and also the authenticity. Yes, yeah, it is. Yeah, even though
Thank you.
we speak for 20 minutes or so, and we never spoke before, but this is the fun of this podcast. Yeah, I love it. Okay, now my last question
Ooh, okay.
is, but you can add, and you can have a last message for the audience as well. Now the last questions, I have to read it, because it's only the third time. But when people reach out to you after listening to this podcast episode, okay, with the quote
Mhm.
inspired, that we can identify they come from this podcast, what is the one thing, the one benefit they can get from you? This is not the last question. Okay, what is the benefit they can I have another one. What's the benefit they can get from you, please?
If they reach out to me with the word inspire that they've come from, honestly, the one benefit I would say is I love hearing from people. So if somebody hears this, something I've said resonated, please reach out. If you have questions, please reach out. If they're, you know, I do a lot of like even free events where I have people on, and if you have health and type issues, you can hop on, you can get, I can translate things for you and get you on a healing journey quickly. So mostly I guess I would just say, just reach out. So if there's, again, because I do really care, so reach out, and if I can help, I do help, basically. So
Okay. Thank you so much. And please reach out to Tara. She's amazing. I found another question. This is why I was so excited. It's the last one.
I'm
Okay, it's
ready.
not the last one. It is my question about how can people help you?
Oh, wow. Goodness, you're a good okay, all right. These are good questions. Okay, how can people help me? I'll tell you what is amazing is if people can, I have my YouTube channel, which is just Tara Meyer-Robson altogether, Flow, Flow. If you can go over there and share any of the wisdom that I'm offering to people there with your friends and family and ways that that will impact them, if you can help me make an impact on the world by doing just that, that would be, I would have the greatest gratitude for that, because really the content and the work that I put out into the world can only make the biggest impact if we all sort of kind of like little seeds, as we said, floating off into the world, share it. So thank you so much. That's a great question.
Wow, thank you so much. Yes, and I loved your answers to every of my questions because it was like authentic and also spontaneous.
I liked the questions because they were authentic and spontaneous. I love an interview like this. This is my preferred interview.
Oh, thank you. I have to train to how to because it's written down and it's a little bit.
Oh,
I
you
have
did
to
great.
apologize. It's a little bit weird. You see this? It's I cannot. I cannot read
Okay,
it.
I have my notebooks here too, so I understand.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Thank you. I hope everyone knows what to do now. Reach out. It is amazing. Help to support the YouTube channel. We will put the link in the show notes and see you in the next episode.
Thank you.